And here is the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, July the 10th, 2019. It's the birthday of the city of Dublin, we believe, founded in 988. That was the year that the Irish king forced people to pay him taxes, so Dublin has belonged to the Irish ever since. Though there were people there before that, the Vikings settled it around 831. The name comes from the Irish words which mean black pool. The city of writers: Jonathan Swift, Samuel Beckett, George Bernard Shaw, James Joyce, Yeats, Patrick Kavanagh, Oscar Wilde, Sean O'Casey, and many, many others. Brendan Behan said, "When I came back to Dublin, I was court-martialed in my absence and sentenced to death in my absence. So I said they could shoot me in my absence." J.P. Dunleavy said, "When I die, I want to decompose in a barrel of porter and have it served in all the pubs in Dublin." It's the birthday of Alice Munro, born in Wingham, Ontario, 1931. Went off to the University of Western Ontario, studied journalism, came back home, married, had 4 children, stayed home to take care of them, and began to write. She said, "I went through a year I couldn't finish a sentence. It was a time of terrible depression. And then in 1959, her mother died, and Munro suddenly found that she was able to explore her own life in her fiction in ways she'd never been able to do before. And 9 years later, she published her first book of stories, Dance of the Happy Shades, writing about ordinary people, small-town Ontario, where, she said, people's lives, as elsewhere, were dull, simple, amazing, unfathomable, deep caves paved with kitchen linoleum. It's the birthday of Marcel Proust, born in Auteuil, France, 1871. His parents died within a few years of each other, leaving Proust enough money to live without having to work. And so he began his 7-volume work, Remembrance of Things Past, sometimes translated as In Search of Lost Time. The most famous scene occurs early on when the narrator dips a bit of a madeleine in some tea and experiences a profound sense memory of his childhood, which had actually happened to Proust, although in his case it was not a madeleine, it was a rusk, a dry biscuit. It's the birthday of Edmund Clarahue Bentley, born in London, 1875, author of mystery novels, but famous to us as the inventor of a new form of verse named for him, the Clarahue, made up of 2 rhyming couplets. The first rhyme, the name of a famous person. For example, George III ought never to have occurred. One can only wonder at so grotesque a blunder. And it's the birthday of John Calvin, born in Picardy, France, 1509, who experienced a religious epiphany sometime in his early 20s and embraced Protestantism at a time when Protestants were being burned as heretics in France, and who left for Switzerland, where he founded what we now know as Calvinism, the 5 principles that include the belief that all people are born sinful and that God has already chosen those who will be saved. Here's a poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins entitled Pied Beauty. Glory be to God for dappled things, for skies of couple color as a brinded cow, for rose moles all in stipple upon trout that swim, fresh fire coal chestnut falls, finches' wings, landscape plotted and pieced, fold fallow and plough, and all trades their gear and tackle and trim, all things counter, original, spare, strange, whatever is fickle, freckled, who knows how, with swift, slow, sweet, sour, dazzled, dim, he fathers forth, whose beauty is past change, praise him. Pied Beauty, a poem by Gerard Manley Hopkins. And that's the Writer's Almanac for Wednesday, July 10th, 2019. Be well, do good work, and keep in touch.